Hello, Rancho Santa Margarita. My name is John Donahue with Keller Williams. So I'm here today with someone from my office in Mission Viejo at Keller Williams. His name is Jeff Gray.
Hello.
Thanks for being with me today.
My pleasure.
So Jeff was part of something special a couple weeks ago that Keller Williams did, and I wanted to talk to him a little bit about that. So let's get into why I've been talking to you today. Can you tell me a little bit about Mega Relief and how it came about?
Sure. So Mega Relief started as Mega Camp. It's a big annual event in Austin, Texas, and it's basically for high-producing real estate agents. They all meet in Austin, Texas once a year. And just before that event this year, Hurricane Harvey happened, and Houston was heavily impacted. So they pivoted. They gave us the option to cancel and get a refund, or cancel and donate the money, or donate the money and still show up to help out. So I chose to still show up and help out, and so did close to 4,000 other agents from all over the country. So 4,000 of us showed up in Austin. We got organized, we hopped on buses, they bused us to different communities in Houston, and basically we were just helping people whose homes had been flooded and for the most part had lost everything. And it was an incredible experience.
Yeah, it was pretty devastating to watch on the news of everything that was going on, but
it's shocking firsthand what a flood actually does.
Right.
I had no idea.
Yeah. This actually happened the week that I started at Keller Williams, and I learned about Mega Relief the day after I signed up with Keller Williams, and I was pretty amazed. So thanks for going, and thanks everyone else for going.
Yeah.
And do you have any specific stories of what you saw in Houston?
Yeah, it was, there's a bus full of agents on our way down. It's a 2-hour drive to get to Houston from Austin. And real estate agents, we like to talk. So, we're all gabbing, chatting, having fun, telling stories. And then we pull into the first neighborhood, and everybody was silent. You could have heard a pin drop in that bus, because you just saw, looking down these streets, everything these people owned was now on the curb. Their couches, their dressers, their clothes, the drywall, the insulation of the homes, the carpet had to be torn out. This is weeks after the hurricane had happened. And these neighborhoods were just imagine every street in your neighborhood, driving up and down the street, and every single home is just rotting and everything's destroyed. They weren't expecting a flood. These homes weren't in a floodplain. They didn't have flood insurance. The third time Hurricane Harvey came back on shore and hit them the third time, the dams were full. They had to make the decision to let the water out of the dams or risk them breaching and just literally a tidal wave killing people. So they decided to slowly let the water out, and the people went to bed at night, they told me, and the water was up just above the curb. And they woke up the next morning and it was chest to overhead deep in their homes. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly we go in these homes. They all smelled like mildew. They all were completely soaked. Every photo album. I was literally pulling people's personal items after prying the cabinets open because the wood had swollen everything shut.
Right.
Not only was the furniture destroyed, but once we pried them open to get the things out from inside, just so we could pick them up and carry them out, so the water sitting for that long just destroyed everything. My view of disaster relief is permanently been changed. I now understand when they say all they need is money and volunteers, that's really all they need.
Right.
There's churches, there's organizations, there's boots on the ground that they just need bodies and money. If you can only donate $20, you're literally putting a package of diapers in a mother's hands, right? If you can donate hundreds or thousands, awesome. But if you only have $5 to donate, you're putting bottled water in someone's hand that really need that, whose tap water isn't
And with the money, they can go get what they want rather than getting a blanket, which they might have 5 of.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So yeah, it was very eye-opening how easy it is to have an impact when there's a need.
And at this point, people are starting to forget what happened, but they still need, everyone's rebuilding down there. So if it's possible, donate to somewhere. Keller Williams has a program called Keller Williams KW Cares.
KW Cares and their headquarters are in Austin, so they will directly be able to support the Houston and Corpus Christi and those affected communities. So KW Cares is a great one. There's also the Second Baptist Church down there, which is a huge church that was very involved in the community and able to help out a ton.
Could you tell me a little bit about your background and how you got into real estate and ended up at Keller Williams?
Absolutely. I've had my license for the last 2 years, and before that I spent a little more than a decade in the restaurant business, managing restaurants and nightclubs, and really enjoyed the hospitality industry, got a lot out of it, but after having my kids, it was time to, instead of stay up all night in restaurants and have someone else write my schedule, it was time for me to write my own schedule and change things around a little bit. So now I'm happily working in the real estate industry, working just as many hours, but at least I'm writing the schedule now. So that was my motivation, was my family.
All right, that sounds great. All right, well, thank you so much for doing this.
My pleasure.
I love hearing about Mega Relief and how you guys went down and helped, and I just picture thousands or hundreds of buses taking thousands of agents down
That's it.
to go help people down there, so,
Yeah, it was unreal.
yeah. All right, well, thanks again.
Thank you, John.
Yep.